kitchen buzzed with the aroma of roasting turkey, mingling with the sharp scent of pine needles from the tree in the corner. Christmas decorations, faded and frayed from years of use, adorned the room, adding a nostalgic warmth to the space. But beneath the cheer, a quiet tension lingered. Ella stirred the pot on the stove, glancing up every few seconds to the doorway. Her daughter Lily had promised to arrive by noon. It was already 2 in the afternoon, and the silence between them had been stretching for days. "Mom, can I talk to you?" came a familiar voice from behind her. Ella turned to see her son, Sam, standing in the kitchen doorway, a grim look on his face. He was still wearing his work clothes, worn jeans and a flannel shirt, and the weariness in his eyes had become too familiar in recent months. "Is it about Lily?" Ella asked, her voice a little too tight. Sam hesitated, then nodded. "She's not coming, Mom. Not today." Ella's heart dropped. She felt the weight of those words like a blow. "She said she'd be here. She promised." "I know," Sam said, rubbing his forehead, "but she's just not ready. She's still upset about what happened last year." The mention of last year, the argument, the shouting match that had torn their family apart, stung. Ella had hoped, even believed, that this year would be different. She'd spent hours cooking, setting the table, trying to create a semblance of the family gatherings they used to have. But Lily's absence had already been an unspoken elephant in the room, and now hearing the truth in Sam's voice made it all too real. "You can't keep making excuses for her, Sam," Ella said, trying to keep her voice steady, though her hands were shaking as she set down the spoon. "She's your sister. She needs to face this. We can't keep waiting for her to come around." Sam's face softened, but his eyes were weary. "I know, Mom, but I think we both know she doesn't just need to forgive you. She needs you to forgive her too." The words hit Ella like a slap. She knew they were right, but she wasn't sure how to bridge the gap that had formed between her and Lily. It felt like everything had been broken beyond repair, and every attempt to make things right had only made them worse. "I've tried, Sam," Ella whispered, her voice cracking. "I've tried so hard. I don't know how much more I can do." There was a long pause before Sam spoke again, quieter this time. "Maybe it's not about doing more. Maybe it's just about waiting, letting things breathe for a while." Ella's chest tightened and she turned back to the stove, the tears threatening to spill over. The turkey, perfectly golden brown, sat untouched on the counter. The mashed potatoes, the green beans, the cranberry sauce. Everything was ready, but there was no one to share it with. "I never thought it would come to this," Ella muttered almost to herself. "I know," Sam said. "Neither did I." Just then, the sound of a car pulling into the driveway made them both freeze. For a moment, neither moved, as if they both feared to hope. Then a soft knock echoed through the door. "Lily." Ella's heart beat faster as she wiped away the tear that had slipped down her cheek. She turned to Sam, who gave her a small, hopeful smile. "I'll let you handle this," Sam said, his voice gentle. He gave his mother's shoulder a reassuring squeeze before retreating to the living room, leaving her alone in the kitchen. Ella stood still for a moment, gathering the courage. Then she walked to the door and opened it. Lily stood there, coat still on, eyes swollen as if she had been crying. Her hair, usually neatly styled, was disheveled, and there was an uncertainty in her posture that made Ella's heart ache. For a long time, neither of them spoke. Finally, Lily's voice broke the silence. "I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't know how to come back. I still don't know how." Ella reached out instinctively, pulling her daughter into an embrace. For a second, neither of them moved, both of them holding on as if this moment might slip away if they let go. "I don't know how either," Ella whispered, "but I'm here. We're here. We'll figure it out, one step at a time." Lily pulled back, wiping her eyes. "I'm scared, Mom. I'm scared that nothing's ever going to be the same again." Ella nodded, her own tears now flowing freely. "Nothing will ever be the same, but we can still make it work. We just have to try." For the first time in over a year, mother and daughter stood in silence together. Not as two people trapped by their mistakes, but as two people who still loved each other, trying to find a way forward. And that, Ella realized, was enough. It had to be. With a deep breath, she stepped aside and gestured to the table. "Come in. Dinner's getting cold." As they sat down together, a soft, fragile peace settled over the room. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. And for the first time in a long time, Ella dared to believe that maybe, just maybe, their family could heal. The turkey, still untouched, sat in front of them, a symbol of the past, but also a reminder of a future still waiting to be written.